Doing good, sir. How you doing? Likewise. Chess, just to me, is like, doesn't matter where you're from, where you're at. All right, remember to be very quiet. There is no talking when you're playing around. I played chess with people that I couldn't speak their language. But we spoke chess together.
I'm gonna move him a year.
And that to me is like one of the greatest things that happened in my life. Play another one for fun, practice.
You remember the first time you heard the story of kings, queens, and knights. It sounded like a fairy tale up for grabs, right at the tips of your fingers. If you believed in it, you could will it into existence, one move at a time.
I actually remember the first game we ever played.
George Trevino was 7 the first time he remembers watching his uncle and father play chess.
And I remember because I lost and I was crying all night.
First and last time I beat you.
I would watch my dad and my uncle play chess during the holidays. They would set up like a chessboard and they would just play it. I would just watch them play and just like rotate. It always caught my attention. One time they were playing a game and my uncle resigned the game and he said, "Why did you resign? You could win this game." And then my dad said, "You don't even know how to play." I said, "I've been watching. I can win this game." So they let me sit down and continue the game. And my daddy was throwing the game, of course, but he let me win, right? And it was like, I had like the most unimaginable, like huge smile on my face. Hey, not bad. That was good. That was a good game. All right, set up all your boards. Let's get started.
After teaching students to play the game for more than 15 years, it's a feeling George felt he'd been missing.
Yeah, I like the support.
So much so that one Saturday morning, he decided to set up tables with chessboards at the Mercadón flea market in Alamo.
So I said, you know what? Let me get a spot at the Pulgar. Let me just put a table there. And so that first day, I didn't expect anybody to come play with me. So I set my little rinky-dinky table up with my old chess set, and I was just waiting. And within minutes, like, people started sitting down. Are you guys ready? Get ready for it.
Little by little, visitors from near and far made their way to the Mercadón every weekend.
Oh, I love chess.
Children who'd never played the game before,
Checkmate.
to veterans who hadn't played in 20 years.
Every time I try to leave, look at that kid.
The word spread and became what is now a 2,600 member RGV Chess Community Facebook page.
I think the community was there, but there wasn't like a place or someone to bring it all together. And as soon as I did it, like everyone just got on board. You know, they said like, yeah, like the Valley wants this, the Valley needs this, you know. That this is the highlight of the week. They tell me like, I'm just looking forward to Saturday so we can come play chess at the pool.
Chess is discipline disguised as a game.
And with the member growth,
There's thousands of players that we only had spot for 40.
came more events.
All right, get aboard and play.
George set out to host a chess night at different Valley businesses 7 days a week, all of them leading up to today, the first Mercadón and RGV Chess Community Tournament.
Shake your opponent's hand and begin the first round. Awesome. So we're here at the pool, we've got our chess set up, and hopefully we don't get rained out, but we're looking to have a fun event with the community.
Everyone from weekend regulars to scholastic competitors fill up the tables. No entry fees, no pressure.
It was a great game, dude. Very positional.
Just 32 chess lovers of all ages with huge smiles on their faces. A smile that is all too familiar to George.
My dad was sitting at the table at the house, and I put out that same chessboard that we had played with when we were 7 years old, and I set up on the table, and he said, "Let's play a game." He's like, "No, because you'll beat me." I said, let's play a game. But this time I threw the game. Without him knowing, you know, kind of like just returning the favor when I was 7 years old. And you know what? He had the same smile I had on my face when I was 7 years old. Just like, what? How did I do that? And so like chess really came full circle for me. Like it was like a really cool moment.
And while a flea market isn't the first place you'd think you'd find a fairy tale ending, Today it serves as a small reminder for George instead. A 2,600 member strong kingdom isn't built in a day. It's built one move at a time.
It just lets me know that I'm on the right track. Like, it makes me know that this is worth it. Like, what I was looking for, and if I can share that, even that little spark, like you said, with anyone. It doesn't matter if it's an adult, it doesn't matter if it's a 90-year-old, veteran like I had last week that came in and played a game with me. It's like, that's what we're doing it for,
In the city of Combs, the honey fits right in, and that is exactly where you'll find the Hive, a building housing thousands of bees and their best friend, Walter Schumacher, better known as...
They call me the Bee Czar. I'm the head of American Honeybee Protection Agency. Everything we do here, we do it by hand. Usually my hands. It's a nonprofit. We're based in Texas, but it's federally recognized. And we remove honeybees where they're unwanted and take them to places where they're wanted. That right now is puffing its butt in the air, trying to put a scent out.
Here, Walter spends his days recruiting honeybees, relocating them from places where they're unwanted to places where they thrive.
Somehow life has brought me to a place where I can walk to any structure and remove that honeybee hive and put them in a box and take them away and help out the person that has the structure and help out the bee.
But Walter didn't grow up dreaming of working with bees. In fact, they kind of buzzed their way into his life.
Technically, the bees forced me into this. My history was a roadie for many, many years, for many, many bands. That led into owning clubs and restaurants.
Years ago, a friend approached him with a simple idea: help save wild bees. Walter had the land, so they put the hives there. Then came a TV interview that changed his life.
We got 400 or 500 people that called us, please remove our honeybees. And so I scheduled them.
The problem? The beekeeper who knew what he was doing quit, leaving Walter to figure it all out on his own.
What do we do about that? And he goes, well, I guess you better learn how to take bees out of a wall. And so that started me. I went to Paris, Texas, bought a whole bunch of bee equipment, bought a book.
And so he did. And over time, Walter learned something most people never notice. Bees talk.
There's a vibe that bees put off, right? And there's a sound. They change the timbre of their wings, the way they undulate their wings.
Happy bees create a deep, steady buzz.
That's the sound they make.
Angry bees? That sound changes fast.
When they get mad, that goes to a very high-pitched whine. So the whine is what tells you that you've trespassed.
Today, Walter uses that knowledge to safely remove colonies and relocate them instead of destroying them. Some of them here at the hive in Combs. Others go somewhere unexpected.
Cool thing is where I put the bees after we catch them, right? So catching them's hard, but once they decide to stay and live with you, you gave them their little apartment on the east side. So once they're there, it's the crazy places I take them.
Different locations create different types of honey. Blueberry groves, strawberry fields, mango orchards, each one producing a completely unique flavor.
So like Central Market, Dallas, Lover's Lane. I have beehives on their roof, and we make rooftop honey because the bees lived on the rooftop.
Once harvested, the honey is bottled right here and shipped all over the world.
We help the bee by selling its honey to pay its rent.
But the nickname Bee Czar, that actually came from a TV reporter in Austin years ago. And it stuck.
He asked me, what do I think I am, the Bee Czar? And I said, oh, yeah, I'm pretty bizarre. And so he thought it was funny, I thought it was funny. And then, so kind of a running joke almost with the newscasters in Austin every time they interviewed me. And they did a lot of interviews with me. And it was like, so you're the... I'm like, yeah, the Bee Czar. Let's do it like that.
These days, Walter continues rescuing bees across Texas, proving that sometimes the smallest creatures can make the biggest difference. For Take 5, I'm Joe DeLeon.
See.
crazy to think about it because my dad would swim across. He would swim across to come work and then go back. And then I'm afraid to even get near the edge because there's bubbles coming in the water. You know, it's like just the difference and I think I realized like, you know, the privilege, I guess, and growing up and.
This is a story of a dreamer in a river. It's a story that's been repeated all throughout the country, sometimes shouted in anger, others whispered in fear. In the RGV, Luis Corpus tells it too.
That connection, and I'm realizing this needs to be out there, and it's not for myself as as an artist to try to get my name in vinyl somewhere. It's because I think the stories and what it aims to communicate is far more important than any one individual.
After developing a love for art at the age of 9, Luis found himself as a professor of the subject across different schools for the last 16 years. And as of 2018, the creator of a collection that has put a spotlight on the Rio Grande River and the lives it's touched.
I didn't want to do something that was like fell into these typical trope of how other people see our communities. I wanted to try to get something like capture something that was sincere, and I think at a fundamental level. And for me, it was using the Rio Grande as a visual metaphor.
Like a love letter, each piece reveals another story of a relationship to the river, not only with details and accents, but materials too. Luis has taken his storytelling a step further, using water directly from the Rio Grande on his portraits and sticks he's gathered along its banks, which are then burned and made into charcoal.
The process initially was, where do you go down to the river? And then, making my way down, sourcing the water, taking just an empty jug and just dipping it into the river. I'm also making my own charcoal, my own inks, so getting branches that are near the riverbank. So I think the idea is, they're also part of the river, the roots feed from the water.
It's a process he's been doing for the past 7 years, adding new creations, new formats. Some he's even traveled all the way to Germany to learn. The collection continuing to grow with stories of a younger generation dreaming of a better life. But recently, Luis decided to look for inspiration a little closer to home.
My parents came in undocumented, 1980. They came in undocumented, and so my reality has been shaped by theirs. As we remove ourselves from our own histories, we forget el esfuerzo, all the plight of the generation prior to us. And I realized how important it was for me to incorporate my dad into one of these drawings. When he was young, he was swimming over the river. He was coming and he was working, and he would go back and he would take his money back to his family in Mexico. The series, in attempting to evoke all these positive attributes of our culture, I felt it was also necessary not only to focus on the youth, but focus on the viejones. Focus on those, our grandparents and our parents, because they're the ones that lived through a lot of those circumstances that have allowed us to have the privileges that we do today.
And though some of those viejones may never get to see the Rio Grande again, Luis's paintings brings them together once more. Not in screams or whispers, but in silence. Earth and life melded together forever on a page. To inspire and pass on a new story of a dreamer in a river.
And I asked myself, does it make a difference? But the thing is, I also ask myself, like, what would be, to the contrary? Like, if I don't try, then el opuesto, the opposite, would be to just, turn a blind eye. And I realized that that's not the type of person that, I would want my kids to know that their father is. Years from now, after, the gray just continues, and myself, un viejon, I don't want to look back and just think that, I just didn't do anything.